Top of the hour here on the early show as we welcome you back with these devastating pictures from Japan, where we are, of course, following the aftermath of the magnitude 8.9 earthquake, which hit in northeastern Japan less than 12 hours ago. The ripple effects being felt all the way over in this country. The tsunami, which was triggered by that magnitude, again, 8.9 quake. You can see some of the effects of the tsunami there in Japan. Hawaii has already felt some of the waves. We know that it has come ashore. Those waves have come ashore in Oregon and the Northern California coast. The good news in this country, really not nearly as large a deal as they were expecting it to be.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 hours ago, they were expecting a lot more of, I guess, residual effects of that tsunami here along Hawaii and, of course, along the west coast of the United States. But so far, so good at this point here for the States. But you saw those pictures of the devastation in Japan. It's the most powerful earthquake they've had in that region, and you can see the people there, the property damage. It's going to be some long suffering there because that subsequent tsunami basically wiped out everything in its path. And everything from the nuclear reactor there to the people's homes to offices in Tokyo have been affected. Widespread damage.
Right, and you mentioned offices in Tokyo. This quake happened offshore, but closest to the city of Sendai in northeastern Japan. About 230 or so miles south of that is Tokyo, and they felt it very strongly, as you mentioned, Chris. There have been a number of aftershocks, just sort of constant, ongoing. Some of them as high as a 7 magnitude. So this is really, I mean, hundreds of miles of damage in Japan. CBS's Lucy Kraft is in Tokyo and has the latest on the disaster there.
A powerful 8.9 magnitude earthquake rocked Japan's northeast coast at 2:46 Friday afternoon local time, followed by at least 19 aftershocks, most more than 6.1 magnitude. The quake unleashed a huge tsunami. A seemingly endless wave of water, at least 13 feet high, carried cars, trucks, boats, and whole buildings as if they were toys over farmland near the city of Sendai. Flames shot from some homes, probably set afire by burst gas pipes. This was the scene inside a TV station in Sendai, 240 miles north of Tokyo, as furniture and equipment went flying. At Sendai's airport, many rushed to the top of a tall building to escape the rising waters. A large fire roared into the air over an oil refinery near Tokyo. Scores of uncontrolled fires burned up and down Japan's 1,300-mile eastern coast. In Tokyo, large office buildings shook violently and continued to sway for more than 30 minutes. Office workers hurried onto the streets. Black smoke poured from at least one skyscraper. Across northeast and central Japan, airports were shut down and trains stopped running. Japan's Prime Minister Naoto Kan urged calm. "I offer my deepest sympathy to the people who have suffered the disaster," he said. A state of emergency was issued when the cooling system at one nuclear power plant failed. However, there was no radiation leak. Quake is said to be the largest to hit Japan in recorded history.
And again, that was Lucy Kraft reporting from Tokyo. We're getting some really interesting pictures of the damage across Japan.
As you can imagine, these pictures coming in via Twitter, and you just take a look at the devastation here, Erica. This, well, it used to be a raised road there, a highway, looked like about a 3 or 4 lane highway, and now it's just been twisted like a pretzel. Just a part of the devastation that we'll continue to see in that area.
And you really have to just keep looking at those pictures on your TV, because it takes a while for your brain to process what you're looking at. As you mentioned, Chris, that had been an elevated road in that last picture, just turned on its side, twisted all around. You look at these homes, these massive fires, which we are told broke out in several areas of the country. And so it is, of course, not just the initial quake, not just the aftershocks or even the tsunami, but then it is everything that happens afterward.
You know, they said this, I'm just reading from Lucy Jones, the seismologist that we talked to earlier, this magnitude 8.9 quake, similar to the quake that happened in 2004 in Sumatra, just with the tectonic plates shifting below one another, which causes the widespread damage you see just to the roads and to the bridges and things like that. And you talk about aftershocks, they're talking about 80 aftershocks of a 5.0 magnitude and greater, 26 and above. So it's this constant pressure on the environment there, and all the seismic activity is just continuing to cause pictures that we see like that, and we're going to continue to see.
We are.
Let's go back out to the West Coast right now, where we can get an idea of what's going on out there. We were talking about the tsunami here all morning and what's going to happen on shore on the West Coast. Bill Whitaker, our CBS News correspondent based in Santa Monica, for us this morning. Bill, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. As you say, I'm here in Santa Monica, and I'm overlooking what looks to be a beautiful day here in Southern California, but we are waiting for the tsunami waves to come ashore. We understand that they should be coming here in the next half hour to 45 minutes. Now, those waves, one of the waves has already come ashore to the north in Oregon, and what we hear, thankfully, the wave was not as big as people had feared. But the seismologists tell us that the tsunami is not a wave, but a series of waves. And while the first one may not be that big and bad, the succeeding ones just might be. So that's why no one is letting down their guard here. The beaches in Orange County have been closed down. They're still urging people who live along the beach or in low-lying areas to get to higher ground. They say that the waves might be coming ashore here up to 3 feet, and it might not be the size of the wave that is the danger, but the current that comes along with it, that the current could be awfully strong and pull people and boats out to sea. So that's why they want people to take every precaution, stay off the beach. If you live in low land, get to higher ground. Back to you.
CBS's Bill Whitaker for us in Santa Monica this morning. Bill, thank you. Now here's Erica.
All right, we want to take a look at other ways that this quake and the tsunamis are impacting travel, and it is having an impact right here in the United States. CBS News transportation correspondent Nancy Cordes is in Washington with the latest on that, and I know you've been on the phone all morning getting updates for us.
That's right, Erica, and we can now tell you that a couple hundred flights between the U.S. and various airports in Japan have been canceled. And a short time ago, the State Department actually released a travel advisory warning U.S. citizens to avoid tourism and non-essential travel to Japan at this time. It says strong aftershocks are likely for weeks following a strong earthquake such as this one, so if you don't need to go to Japan, don't. And on a conference call a short time ago, the State Department announced that there are, thankfully, no reports of U.S. citizens killed or injured at this time. So that is fantastic news. They also said the U.S. government has been in close contact with the Japanese, assessing the needs there, and that the U.S. Air Force has actually already transported some coolant to that Japanese nuclear plant where the cooling system failed, creating a state of emergency. So the U.S. military forces stationed at the Pacific Rim are already pitching in, Erica.
And that is some good news. There was a lot of concern over the nuclear plants. There's some good news to know that coolant is on the way there. You also mentioned the State Department talking about folks in Japan. If anyone is concerned, though, they can go to state.gov for more information.
That's right. They will be able to do that, and the State Department will also be putting out advisories as the day goes on about the condition of U.S. residents in Japan. They'll probably be working with the consulates there to help people get out of Japan if they feel that they need to do that, and of course letting us know if they do learn of any injuries, of any deaths related to this earthquake and the tsunami that followed it.
Nancy Cordes in Washington. Nancy, thanks.
We'll find out in about 90 minutes from the president exactly what the continuing efforts for relief and for aid furnished by the U.S. will be. Like I said, about 12:30 Eastern Coast time, 9:30 Pacific Coast time. We've got other news headlines this morning. For that, we go to Jeff Glor, who was at the news desk for us again this morning. Hi, Jeff.
Okay, guys, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. And this morning, Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker has just signed a bill that takes away many union bargaining rights for public workers in his state. The state assembly passed the bill yesterday following weeks of protest and debate. Walker says that his opponents are missing the point.
And the problem is those aren't rights, because the federal government, under Barack Obama, federal employees do not have collective bargaining for wages and benefits. So they aren't about rights. It's ultimately about how do you balance the budget. And in this case, we actually empower good workers.
Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, and other states are considering similar legislation. In Libya this morning, Muammar Gaddafi's military is pushing back rebel forces. Rebels hope to make a stand near a key oil port now in Libyan army control. Gaddafi's son told CBS's Mark Phillips he says the rebel militia is already beaten.
Do you think you've broken the back of this rebellion? Have you broken the back of this resistance?
100%. In fact, we are fighting. There were less than 1,000, 800 people.
That's the strength you estimate.
This is the whole strength and power of the militia.
Witnesses say there were new Libyan air attacks on rebel-held towns this morning. The controversial House hearing on whether American Muslims are being radicalized by terrorists became very emotional yesterday. That hearing was led by Congressman Peter King, who says that Muslim leaders need to speak out more against terrorism. Keith Ellison, one of two Muslim congressmen, broke down, though, recalling a Muslim paramedic killed on 9/11.
His life should not be identified as just a member of an ethnic group or just a member of a religion.
The White House said that Muslim Americans are part of the solution and not the problem. Flooding problems persist in the east. Some areas have received more than 4 inches of rain. You're looking at New Jersey here. New Jersey and Maryland have declared states of emergency. 27 states have issued flood advisories. The worst is still yet to come in northern New Jersey, with several rivers expected to crest above flood stage over the weekend. And another twist in the Charlie Sheen story. Police raided his mansion overnight. The LAPD says it was a search for guns that might violate a restraining order against Sheen obtained by his estranged wife. They removed one weapon described as an antique gun, and Sheen later tweeted that police were, quote, awesome, and, quote, they can protect and serve this warlock anytime. It's 11 minutes past the hour right now. Back over to Chris and Erica, guys.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much.
We want to get you a check of your weather at this point. Marisol Castro standing by with that for you on this Friday morning. Mari, good morning again.
Good morning, Erica. And Chris, good morning, everyone at home. Well, as we mentioned, the tsunami has already come ashore in the Washington-Oregon border and in portions of northern California. Now, these initial shocks were not as bad as we had anticipated, but remember, it's these subsequent waves that pass through that could increase. And we're told that these waves could come anywhere between 15 minutes and a half hour. Of course, we're keeping an eye on it for you. Take a look at the radar for this portion of the nation. Really clear skies, just a few showers in the Pacific Northwest. We do have some showers around Billings and the Great Lakes area. Absolutely gorgeous skies. 52 degrees in Portland, 70 degrees in Los Angeles. Breezy winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. High temperatures, 47 in Billings, feels ever more like spring. Albuquerque 72, 86 in Phoenix. That's a look at the weather across the nation. Now let's see what's happening outside your window.
Yeah, a little cooler today than yesterday. Temperatures into the 80s today, low 70s. We're looking down at the beach, of course, and our eyes are at the coast where that tsunami advisory is in effect for Southern California. You can see the temperatures as we make our way into the weekend. Kind of an easy weekend for us. Kind of a rough start, though, to that weekend. Ken?
Yes, that's indeed correct. Josh, thanks so much. Now, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration saying here in Southern California, any waves should be coming on shore right about now, starting to the north. We'll keep an eye on any potential damage, bringing you the latest throughout the day.
This weather report sponsored by Ashley Furniture, the #1 name in furniture.
Thanks so much. That's your latest weather. Now here's Erica.
Mari, thanks.
We'll be right back. This is The Early Show here on CBS. Stay with us.
Get Ashley Furniture Home Store's lowest prices of the season right now. Get more without paying more. Unheard of deals on our best-selling items starting at $288. Hurry in for unprecedented savings. Ashley Furniture Home Store, the #1 name in furniture.
All you need for sensitive skin. All you expect from the #1 recommended detergent by dermatologists. All Free Clear is free of dyes and perfumes and has powerful stain lifters to help get your whole wash clean. It's all good.
3 o'clock, my daily meeting with a salty snack. And then at 3:15, with my guilt.
New Special K Cracker Chips. 27 crispy chips, 110 delicious calories.
Good meeting. Same time tomorrow?
Find them in the cracker aisle.
I see a bag and think, I could have a chip.
Yeah, right.
That's why they're called chips.
New Special K Cracker Chips. 27 crispy chips, 110 delicious calories.
Another cracker chip? Don't mind if I do.
Find them in the cracker aisle.
Time to color.
Hair color is a chore, no more. You gotta come see what's new. Come on. Ta-da! Welcome to hair color heaven. Oh! Courtesy of new Nice and Easy Color Blend Foam. Permanent dimensional color, now in a delightful foam. Just 3 shades. Foam it, love it. Simply saturate hair, root to tip, front to back, with tones and highlights. It's foam-tastic. Home hair color? Make room for foam hair color. New Nice and Easy Color Blend Foam. Your right color.
Motherhood is full of surprises, good and bad. So here's one that might shock you. 9 out of 10 Americans aren't getting essential nutrients we need. That's a serious nutrient gap. We try to eat right, but it may not be enough. But there is a way to help close the gap. Milk. It's not just calcium and vitamin D, but potassium, protein, and more. So pour just 1 more serving of milk a day for you and your family. The truth is delicious. Pour 1 more. Got milk?
There are other companies that have minivans with similar safety features as the Chrysler Town & Country. The difference between theirs and ours is that all our safety tech features come standard, and most of theirs are optional. We don't think safety or airport technology should be optional.
Now, well-qualified lessees can lease the 2011 Town & Country Touring for just $319 a month.
Your assignment? Capture the boldest, flirtiest lashes.
But lose the bulk.
New 1x1 Volume Express Mascara from Maybelline, New York. Your weapon? The revolutionary Lash Catcher Brush. Captures, coats, and deep clumps every lash all at once. Makes them bolder.
1x1.
Makes them flirtier.
1x1.
For bold lashes without the bulk.
The old 1x1 trick.
1x1. New from Maybelline.
It was just about 2:45 in the afternoon local time when that giant 8.9 magnitude earthquake hit Japan. David Abraham was at his office in Tokyo. He felt it. He joins us now via Skype. Good to have you with us. You were at work at the time. Describe for us what happened to you.
Correct. I was at work. I work on the 11th floor of an office building. And it started to violently shake up and down. And it caught me for a little loop. Because I wasn't ready for it, as you never really are. And then the building started shaking violently left and right, and I dove underneath my desk and waited for it to stop. I'm familiar with earthquakes. They usually last for about 30 seconds. This one seemed to last for much longer. And I kept looking up to seeing where other people were, and we were all under our desks.
So when did you all decide? Because there have been so many aftershocks, we know. At one point, more than 50 we're hearing all kinds of numbers. When did you decide it was safe to come out from under your desk? And at that point, what did you find?
Well, I came out from under my desk after about, I guess, a minute 30, 2 minutes of the earthquake. Asked other people what happened because to get a sense if they had information, because I don't speak Japanese and the radio that was playing didn't make much sense to me. They were describing what the earthquake was, and we looked out the window, and there was plumes of smoke coming from what seemed like a building maybe two miles away, just a black smoke coming out. And as we were talking a little bit more, deciding on what to do, to leave or stay, another earthquake hit. And it was almost as long and as violent as the previous one. And at that time, I decided just to get out of the building and hurry on out.
So it wasn't necessarily an evacuation order from the building, but you just said, that's it, I'm out of here.
Well, there was no evacuation order. I don't know if, I don't think one was ever given. Okay. All the elevators stopped, but I had enough of being inside and figured that I'd take my chances in a park.
So then you get downstairs, you get to the park, I think you said. What did you see on the streets? How were people reacting? How were they feeling? And did you see any damage at that point?
Sure. Damage, I didn't see that much, except for the fire that was going on in the background. But there were lots of people on the street. Everyone seemed to be going somewhere directly. I don't know where everyone was going because the trains weren't running, and it didn't seem like the buses were running. But people were walking somewhere. I ended up walking home. But you were seeing people with construction hats on, and people with some type of protection bags that work might have given them, all heading somewhere, maybe taking the 20-kilometer walk home, or I don't know where everyone was going, but even now it's 1:05. I live on a very quiet street, and there are cars going up and down. There are cars up and down the street in a traffic jam. So people are still stuck on the roadways here. And we in Tokyo are far more lucky than the people up north.
It's true. Have you been able to get much information? I know some of the highways that serve the northern areas up there are damaged and closed. Is there much information coming out of northeastern Japan?
There is. It's a lot of coming out of in the Japanese press. I'm more concerned about the people I know here in Tokyo. So I really can't comment too much about the news that's coming directly out of the north.
Right. Well, we hope that you can, I know it's tough to get in touch with people because of the phone lines, even mobile phone lines, but we hope that you're able to get in touch with them soon. We do appreciate you sharing your story with us. David Abraham joining us from Tokyo this morning. We will be right back with more. You're watching The Early Show on CBS.
Letting go of your cigarettes can be hard, but the Nicoderm CQ patch gradually steps you down off of nicotine in just 3 steps. doubling your chances for success. Nicoderm CQ. 3 steps, 10 weeks, and you're free.
This spring, get more mileage out of your travel plans with $50 in free gas. Stay 2 separate times at Comfort Inn or any of these choice hotels, and you can earn a free $50 gas card. Book now only at choicehotels.com.
Want truly better hair color? Think inside the box. New Garnier Nutrice. Triple nourishes with avocado plus shea and olive. Because nourished hair means better color. Color that's rich, more radiant for triple nourished hair. Truly better color. New Garnier Nutrice.
How are you getting to a happier place? Running there? Dancing there? How about eating soup to get there? Campbell's Soups fill you with good nutrition, farm-grown ingredients, and can help you keep a healthy weight. Campbell's, it's amazing what soup can do.
193 stab wounds. I have a story to tell. Bring it on.
CBS Tuesday.
Spring break on Price is Right.
College students from around the country will compete to win free tuition, a trip to the NCAA Final Four, a walk-on roll-in,
the bold and the beautiful,
and more.
A new car!
Drew Carey gets schooled when The Price is Right goes on spring break, Tuesday, CBS Daytime.
Be our guest and experience the magic of Disney's Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Beauty and the Beast serves up an unforgettable evening of entertainment.
At the Pantages Theater now through March 26th only. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
And welcome back to the early show as we continue to show you pictures of the devastation in Japan this morning. This the result of an 8.9 earthquake, the largest earthquake to hit Japan. And you can see widespread devastation. The death toll continues to rise. In the pictures, it's just hard to describe the mass devastation that you see here.
And this, of course, is just the beginning as we're beginning to get these pictures in. The look on the faces of some of those people, especially that last picture of that woman and that child. You can only imagine what it's like, too, for some of these parents this morning, trying to describe to their children what happened, what will happen next. We continue to follow this and its impact on the U.S. right here on The Early Show. Local news is next.
Today, Melissa and Joan Rivers.
They're just like Kelly and me without the British accent. But I think Joan and I have had about the same amount of work done. My belly button's at the top of my head.
The Talk today on CBS.
This is it. The Southern California RV Show starts Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Angel Stadium. Millions in RV inventory at massive discounts. Save tens of thousands on new and pre-owned RVs. Starts Friday. Go to RVShowOC.com.
Hi, I'm Coupon Susie, and I want you to know something surprising is happening in stores everywhere. Things shoppers want are going on sale when they want them. See what I mean? Save as much as $40 or more every week. Choose from hundreds of free coupons right on your computer. Just click and print. It all starts at CouponSusie.com. Print at home. Save where you shop. CouponSusie.com.
Completing an ATM deposit in record time. That's a step forward. With deposit-friendly ATMs, you can make ultra-fast, secure deposits with no slips or envelopes. Take a step forward and chase what matters.
Surf meets turf at TGI Fridays. Indulge yourself with 12 affordable seafood entrees starting at only $12.99. At TGI Fridays, flavor now has value with our new seafood menu. Try the steak and lobster or steak and shrimp combos, or the Tuscan shrimp pasta loaded with fire-grilled shell-on shrimp. Feeling traditional? Choose the grilled or steamed lobster tails or the petite sirloin and salmon. Go light with the new lobster Cobb salad packed with fresh vegetables, succulent lobster, and much more. Surf meets turf at TGI Fridays with 12 new entrees.
This is it. The Southern California RV Show starts Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Angel Stadium. Millions in RV inventory at massive discounts. Save tens of thousands on new and pre-owned RVs. Starts Friday. Go to RVShowOC.com.
Good morning, everyone. It is 8:25 on a Friday morning, and we are on a tsunami advisory. We are checking out your beaches, Sky 2 right now, live over Redondo Beach, where curious onlookers on the pier. And look at this sky. Yeah, the sky paddle boarding out there, despite all the warnings by authorities that people stay off the beach. Latest update now, National Weather Service says that tsunami-related waves may occur in San Pedro starting at 8:30, so of course that's very shortly. Santa Monica about 8:40 and Newport Beach about 8:45. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Rubenstein, who's been tracking all these advisories.
You know what, Sabila, a couple of things to keep in mind. We're not looking at a major thing happening all at once. As this tsunami or a wave of tsunami start to make its way on shore, we could see wave action all the way for the next several hours. So it's not something that we're going to necessarily see right away. We've got the tsunami advisory to the south and a tsunami warning north of Point Conception, and we can see the height fluctuation anywhere from 2 to 3 feet, 5 to 7 feet up to the north, and of course a lot of energy to go along with it. So this is something we're going to be watching for several hours here this morning. As you see on temperature-wise, it's going to be a nice weekend. We are going to see things just a little bit cooler than what we had this week, but nonetheless should be hovering near average levels for this time of year. We will be right back with some more news for you.
With the new Turtle Reef attraction and Shamu Show opening this summer, there's never been a better time to get a SeaWorld Fun Card. Pay for a day, play all year.
There's only one way to describe the Ross Dress Event.
Unbeatable.
Come to Ross. We've got what you're looking for. The brands, the styles, and so much more. You'll find unbeatable savings in store.
Ross has the same dresses as department stores at a fraction of the price. So why buy a dress anywhere else? The Ross Dress Event.
Unbeatable.
Now open at Paramount and downtown San Bernardino.
If you want the American dream of owning your home free and clear, then call for the 3.25% 3.461 APR 10-year fixed refi from Cash Call. You'll have no mortgage in 10 years and save thousands in interest. Call 866-590-CASH for the American Dream refi today.
Hey, guess what time of the year it is? Yay, it's a 5-cent sale. Buy one bottle and you get the second for 5 cents.
It's a great deal.
It's a great time to stock up.
Stock up at the Bevmo 5-cent wine sale. Hurry, over 200 wines to choose from.
On the next Dr. Phil, need help settling arguments?
Dust under these shoes.
We let the audience vote.
There's not dust under objects. There's only dust around objects.
Today at 4 on CBS 2.
Next ET.
It's a cooking wand for a warlock.
Charlie Sheen, the hour-by-hour developments after his Funny or Die video. Then Lindsay Lohan. Did the judge watch our exclusive surveillance tapes? Next ET.
Tonight at 7 on CBS 2.
Welcome back, everyone. A powerful tsunami spawned by the largest earthquake in Japan's recorded history slammed the eastern coast of that this morning. Hundreds are dead, many more missing, and because of that, of course, here in LAX, several inbound and outbound flights between Japan or Hawaii and LAX have been canceled this morning, including flights on Nippon Air. You're taking a live look at LAX right now, and officials advise people flying or meeting people to contact their airlines for the latest up-to-date information. Now, coming up today on CBS 2 News at 11 a.m., we're going to have the very latest and the newest pictures of the massive 8.9 quake and the tsunami advisory for our own coast. You can also log on to cbsla.com for the very latest, and we will be back with all of the newest pictures at 11 a.m. and continue to break in live with the latest of our coast in the next few minutes.
CBS 2 News is brought to you by Time Warner Cable.
Switch to Time Warner Cable and save. Get 12 months of digital TV with HD for just $33 a month with free installation. Get 12 months of digital TV, HBO, and Showtime for just $33 a month. Digital TV with no free HD, just $33 a month. Ask about optional whole house DVR. Call 1-855-TW-SWITCH. But this offer ends today. Call 1-855-TW-SWITCH.
My diet? Well, yesterday I had an apple turnover. I know it's sort of my weakness. I always keep it in the house. Well, that and Boston cream pie, white chocolate strawberries, and key lime pie. Yeah, I've already lost some weight.
Yoplait Light. Over 30 delicious flavors at about 100 calories.
Babe, what are you doing?
The Yoplait you love, now in a 4-pack. Try it today.
Bottom of the hour. Welcome back to the early show. Chris Raggi here along with Erica Hill as we continue to follow breaking news out of Japan this morning. This devastating 8.9 earthquake and subsequent tsunami that basically wiped out everything in its path. Widespread damage, a death toll that continues to rise. And the one thing that we can take away from the people that we've talked to in the region this morning, this earthquake was not your typical 5, 6, 10-second earthquake. There are reports that this quake lasted as long as 5 minutes and then close to 80 aftershocks thereafter. So this is
a number of them hefty aftershocks above a 6 magnitude, at least one of around a 7. We're also learning this morning of pockets of how people are dealing with this, and we're actually learning that at Disneyland in Tokyo, thousands of people are stranded there. In fact, the park reporting 69,000 guests had to be evacuated. They brought them to safe areas within the park. They have supplies for them and temporary shelter, but it is flooded all around the park, and they cannot get these people out.
And if you've been to Disney World here in the States, they have the monorail system. They have something similar there, and those trains are apparently one of the few parts of the park that were damaged in this quake. So they said that they could potentially be there for days. So we're going to continue to update that situation. Just another one of the many, I guess, subtexts of what's going on in Japan right now. Wherever you go and whatever story you do here, though, it's terrible. It's really
awful,
a terrible situation.
And the pictures say so much. As we know, it's the tsunami which it generated made its way across the Pacific Ocean, has already come ashore here in the mainland U.S. We're also following that aspect for you. It is just about 32 minutes past the hour, though, and on this Friday morning, we do want to get you a check of your national weather at this hour. Marisol Castro standing by with that.
Good morning, Chris and Erica. Good morning, everyone at home. We do want to show you the national picture. You can see we have a few pockets of precipitation in the northern plains and then in the Ohio River Valley. We are looking, of course, at some rain in northern New England. But we show you the west coast, and you could see just beautiful sunny skies. Although those tsunami waves are coming ashore, it's just beautiful. Sunny skies, 57 in San Francisco, 70 in Los Angeles. Winds are light at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So here is on the northeast, the radar. There is that storm that's starting to push out. Behind it, we should see some sunny skies and your high temperatures across the land. Feeling a little bit more like spring. 66 in Denver, 66 in Kansas City, 55 in Atlanta. That's a look at the weather across the nation. Now let's see what's happening right outside your window.
All right, thanks a lot, Marisol. Of course, we're going to continue to follow the situation, our coastal situations out here. We're breaking in live all morning long, and we'll also have a lot more details on our 11 a.m. newscast. We want to also show you some pictures right now following this video, the very latest and the newest pictures of the massive 8.9 quake and the tsunami advisory for our own coast. Here's a look at the forecast, but log on to cbsla.com for the very latest, and we'll be back with all the newest pictures.
Thanks so much. That's your latest weather. Now over to Erica.
Mari, thanks. At this hour, the first waves of the tsunami, which began in Japan because of that earthquake, are now coming ashore in California. CBS News correspondent John Blackstone is on the coast of Northern California. He's in San Francisco, right by Ocean Beach, I believe, still this morning. John, good morning. Are you starting to see anything yet?
Morning, Erica. Yes, indeed. These waves were supposed to start coming ashore in the last half hour, and in the last 20 minutes or so, we really did see a noticeable rise in the high water mark here. Now, it is low tide, so any noticeable rise in the high water mark, that's significant. That is the impact of the tsunami, it would appear. But there's been nothing dramatic, no huge waves, nothing that's threatened us here up in the seawall at all. We understand that's been the story largely up and down the coast. Further north, where the tsunami came ashore earlier along the Oregon coast and Crescent City in Northern California, that there was some indication of higher water, but nothing dramatic, nothing damaging.
The good news, though, it would seem that people were at least, even though it may not have been that dramatic at this point, better safe than sorry. And it appears people were listening to those evacuation orders. Pacifica south of San Francisco evacuated, and we saw some shots earlier. Seemed to be a lot of people leaving the area.
Indeed, people have been taking this seriously. I think that's noticeable. I have been down here previously for an earlier tsunami warning and was surprised to see a lot of people down on the beach this morning. We've seen a couple of people ignoring the warning to stay away, but the beach has been deserted. The highway that's been closed along here has been deserted. People have been being careful. And, you know, for those of us here in earthquake country, this is a very sobering thing. This is a huge earthquake in Japan. We've never experienced anything this powerful in California, but it does concentrate the mind here, believe me.
It absolutely does. Is What about the fact that this happened overnight? It would seem, I mean, great that, as you said, they're taking this seriously, but how did the warnings, how did all of that information roll out? Because it was happening overnight and in the very, very early morning hours there on the West Coast.
Well, certainly the officials were discussing from early this morning whether or not to sound tsunami alarms. There are tsunami alarms in many communities along the coast here. Officials were looking, do we sound the alarm? Do we just go around to low-lying neighborhoods, warn people to get out? That's largely what was done. Some reverse 911 calls were put out telling people in very low-lying areas, look, you should perhaps consider evacuating. There were no mandatory evacuations that I'm aware of, but certainly people were warned, and many people did make that decision to get to higher ground. Certainly here in San Francisco, people have made the decision to stay off the beach just in case.
John Blackstone in San Francisco this morning. Thanks. Chris?
All right, Erica, thank you. Now let's go down the coast a bit, check on conditions in the L.A. area. CBS News correspondent Bill Whitaker has spent all morning in Santa Monica, and he joins us now once again. Bill, good morning again.
Good morning, Chris. Well, this is about the time that the tsunami is supposed to hit here in Southern California along the coast here in Los Angeles. And as you can see right now, it is a beautiful day and the waves are rolling in gently. But there are people, if you can see them behind me, and there are hundreds more in front of me here who are lined up on this bluff just watching this, just waiting for this wave to come in. Now, the authorities say that the seismologists say that the wave could be as much as 3 feet. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's not like a regular wave that comes in. This would be a surge of a wave that could push far into onto shore. And the authorities also say that this is not the kind of a wave that you want to play around with. So they're asking people to stay off the beach. You've got the lifeguards driving up and down the beach, keeping people away from the beach. They've closed down beaches in Orange County. They've closed down beaches north of here. So right now, it really is a wait-and-see situation. People are waiting here along this bluff, waiting to see this tsunami wave come in and see what it does. Back to you, Chris.
A lot of looky-loos out there, though. Have they had any problems with people wanting to get down to the beach to get a better view when they shouldn't?
Well, earlier there were people who came out to go jogging and riding bikes along the beach. As a matter of fact, I see somebody out there riding a bike right now. But the lifeguards have been driving up and down the beach, telling people to step back, get off the beach. Earlier, a police helicopter was flying by, sort of buzzing people to get them off the beach. For the most part, the beach is clear of people. As I say, there are a couple of people still down there. Most of the people are up here on the bluff looking and waiting.
All right. CBS's Bill Whitaker for us in Santa Monica, where it looks like it's a beautiful day, but people still do need to be on the lookout. Bill, thank you. Now here's Erica.
Also watching the tsunami waves come ashore in Eureka, California, which is close to the Oregon state line, is Lori Dengler. She's a geology professor at Humboldt State University and joins us this morning via Skype. Good to have you with us, Professor. As we just heard from Bill, this 3-foot surge which is expected isn't exactly a regular quote-unquote wave, and it could just be the first surge. How do these normally roll out?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the first surge. And I want to make it really clear that we're just beginning our hazard period here on the California coast. And I would expect, I've spent many years studying the tsunamis and the characteristics of tsunamis on California's coast. And what really tends to characterize them is a very long duration. They certainly can last 10, 12 hours or longer. Back in 1960, we recorded the tsunami that came from Chile for over 5 days. It rattled around in the Crescent City Harbor.
Wow.
So we're at the very beginning of this. What we've seen now is the first surge come in and go out in Crescent City and in Eureka. And it's certainly noticeable. It's about 5 feet from peak to trough in Crescent City. And I would expect that the largest surges could certainly be twice that in size.
So this really is the beginning. As calm as it may look, it could get worse.
Absolutely. And I like to say that tsunamis are really tricky. They really want to fool you. And just when you think that they're all over, the largest series of surges can arrive. They arrive deceptively slowly. I mean, the water is moving fairly fast, but it will take like 15 minutes for a surge to completely come in, and then it may spend 10 minutes of, relatively quiet water when it's at its maximum inundation, and then it may rush out over another period of 10-15 minutes.
Can I ask
and
you,
then the next series will come in, and so you might have 15-20 minutes, sometimes as long as an hour between successive surges.
And obviously, as you describe that situation, that is another reason why it is so important to listen to those evacuation orders, to heed the officials on the ground and their recommendations to keep you safe. Looking at this earthquake that hit in northeastern Japan, again, 8.9 magnitude, the subsequent aftershocks that we've seen, this is in the Ring of Fire region. About 90% of the world's earthquakes happen here. Did you ever expect that you would see one of this magnitude, and especially with everything that has come along after it?
Well, we actually saw something almost identical just a year ago when Chile experienced an 8.8. And I was on a post-earthquake tsunami reconnaissance team and spent close to 2 weeks in the area that was affected by the tsunami, and we got to some of those aftershocks. We were there about 3 weeks after the earthquake. So one is always surprised when an 8.9 earthquake occurs. I mean, these are the real whoppers. And this earthquake is probably going to end up ranking about 5th on the list of all-time largest earthquakes that we've reported since modern seismographs have been around. This is a very notable earthquake.
Absolutely. To put it in perspective for people, especially on the West Coast and in California, who may remember the Northridge quake in Los Angeles in '94, we've been told it's about 3 times as powerful as that one. Also, it was fairly shallow, as I understand it.
Much more powerful. Yeah.
Right.
It's actually far more powerful than, because each time you go up 1 unit in magnitude, you release about 30 times more energy. So that earthquake was 6.7, 6.8. This is, 2 full magnitude units.
My apologies. I meant to say 3,000 times more powerful.
1,000 times.
Right.
Yeah, close to 1,000 times more powerful.
I want to ask you about where this one hit, because the epicenter, as I understand it, was just off the coast, closest to Sendai, which we've been showing a lot of pictures of, but it was fairly shallow. How did that impact the impact of the quake and then the subsequent tsunami?
Well, certainly the depth can affect both. Shallow earthquakes tend to direct their energy, their ground shaking energy, in a smaller area. This earthquake was actually somewhat off the coast, and the fact that it was shallow and somewhat off the coast probably reduced the strongest ground shaking. I haven't seen any of the accelerations yet, but it may well be that the accelerations in the deadly New Zealand earthquake that occurred in February, just a few weeks ago, that may have produced stronger accelerations. The ground shaking wouldn't have lasted as long, but the ground shaking was incredibly strong. I mean, it was strong enough to knock you off your feet.
Right.
And but that earthquake was really close to the city of Christchurch, and even shallower. So the shallowness, you tend to get more deformation of the seafloor when it's an offshore earthquake, and so certainly the potential to produce a significant tsunami is there. For a very deep earthquake, it won't produce a tsunami at all because the deformation is all well below the seafloor.
Okay. Lori Dengler, professor at Humboldt State, we do appreciate you joining us this morning. Thanks for sharing your expertise with us.
All right. Thank you.
Chris?
Thank you, Erica. We want to go back quickly to CBS correspondent Bill Whitaker, who's in Santa Monica, for just another update. Bill?
Well, right now, as I say, we've got hundreds of people who are lined up here on this bluff along with me, who are watching the ocean, waiting to see this tsunami wave come in. Right now, we have not seen anything. This is about the hour that seismologists said we should expect to see something, so all eyes are now on that ocean, waiting to see if this wave will come ashore. Now, the seismologists have said that we could expect to see a wave anywhere from 1 to 3 feet here in Southern California. That doesn't sound like a lot, but those waves are not your normal wave. They carry a lot of force with them and have a great punch, and a wave of that size could move quite a distance inland. So that's why no one here is letting down their guard. Even though this looks like a beautiful sunny day in Southern California, the beaches are cleared of people, and authorities want people to stay off the beach. They've urged people who live in low-lying areas to come to a higher area like this bluff where we are, get away from this until this incident is over. And as we were just hearing from our last interview, it's not just one wave. This is an incident that could go on for hours. So if the first wave comes in and it's not the biggest wave that you've ever seen, that doesn't mean that it's safe to go back in the water. We must wait until this is over, so authorities are urging everyone to take every precaution and respect what might be coming ashore here.
Yeah, Bill, one of the pictures we were showing as you were talking there was one of the piers out there in Santa Monica, and it looked like there was a cutoff point literally before it hit the water where they were asking people not to go any further than that point. Have they given you any indication of when the all clear could potentially be issued? I mean, I'm sure people are wondering, come on, it looks fine now, it's a beautiful day. At what point are they going to tell us that we're free to go back on the beach again? Do you have any sense of when how many hours away that might be?
Well, no one has given us any particular set of hours, but they do know that these tsunami waves can come in over a number of hours. So it's not just that one comes in at 8:35 or 8:45 or 8:50, but that after that another and perhaps another. And each one could be a little bigger and a little more powerful. And this could go on for hours. So right now the thinking is that they're going to try to keep these beaches clear throughout most of the day.
All right,
Chris?
CBS's Bill Whitaker for us in Santa Monica. Bill, thank you very much for everything all morning. We appreciate it.
Well, we do want to show you now. We told you not too long ago that we were learning there were thousands of people essentially trapped at Disneyland in Tokyo. Well, these are some of the first pictures that we're getting in of that. Again, the park saying that they had to basically evacuate thousands of people who were inside the park to safer ground, safer places within the park. They are giving them supplies, tents. They're doing obviously everything they can to make them comfortable, but they're trapped in that park because of the damage from the earthquake and because of flooding in the parking lot.
And this is not just a few people, Erica. Reports are up to as many as 69,000 visitors to the park could be trapped here, and they are saying that this is not going to be a short-term issue, that this could be for a couple of days, because like we also mentioned earlier, the tram that gets those people from the park to their hotels, it's one of the things that has been damaged with the quake. But some of the infrastructure at the park itself, they said, is in surprisingly good shape. So the people, they're inside, they're trapped, but they are safe at this point, which is the good news. We can also report, David Martin reporting from the Pentagon earlier, that a number of our ships in the Pacific are making their way steaming towards Japan right now. The USS Ronald Reagan is about 28 hours away, but the Tortuga and the Essex, both of which have Marine Expeditionary Forces on board and amphibious vehicles, are headed towards the area as well. So the president, who will be speaking at about 9:30 local time, will continue to address whatever efforts and measures will be taken by the U.S. But right now, the initial report is that we are sending as much relief as we possibly can.
And we know FEMA teams are on standby, just waiting for that order. So we'll continue to update you on all of that. Stay with us right here on CBS. We'll be right back. You're watching The Early Show.
You know, every day I have people calling me saying, we've just discovered what great product this Kia is. We've known that for a long time. You know, that's why CarPros is the #1 seller of new Kias in California. Heck, we're the #1 seller of new Kias in America. Everybody knows CarPros sells for less. Look at this Sorento. America's leading consumer magazine says it's the best car on the market, and it is. CarPros everyday low price, $159.88. CarPros Kia Carson. Come see us. You're going to like what you see.
CBS tonight at this prep school.
What are you teaching these kids here?
Murder is in a class of its own.
They're learning all kinds of things that aren't on the curriculum.
A new CSI New York. Then, a murdered Marine.
Just keep your head and build your case.
Danny spent some time overseas with the Corps. He never talks about it.
Opens old wounds.
What's going on?
If you can't keep your emotions in check, I will sit you down just like I would anybody else.
A new Blue Bloods after a new CSI New York. Tonight, only CBS.
First one to the top, Norms. Bigger, better,
breakfast?
2 strips of bacon, 2 link sausages, grilled ham, hash browns, 2 eggs, and 2 hotcakes. Norm's Bigger, Better Breakfast!
Norm's Bigger, Better Breakfast. Only $5.99 anytime.
He falls for it every time. I wish you could see the look on his face now.
Norm's Restaurants, only in Southern California, where life happens 24/7.
It starts with you. Falling in love with the most personalized, most customized piece of furniture you will ever own. Get that one piece right, and the rest of the room will just fall into place. It starts with you, introducing yourself to the world of Ethan Allen. Don't miss our March sale, with special savings on select pieces for every room.
President Obama is preparing to hold his second news conference of the year. It will kick off in just about 40 minutes, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. CBS News will carry it live. You can expect the president to talk about the situation in Japan. For a closer look at what else we can expect, CBS News senior White House correspondent Bill Plant is at the White House for us. Bill, good morning.
Erica, good morning to you. Yes, the president will talk about the quake. In fact, they delayed this news conference for a couple of hours so that he could get the latest on the quake and the tsunami. Earlier, the White House issued a statement in the president's name in which he said that he and Michelle were deeply saddened and sent their condolences to the people of Japan and promised that the U.S. stands ready to help with earthquake relief. The statement also said that they would be watching and sending FEMA representatives to all of the areas in which the tsunami could possibly hit in the United States. In this news conference coming up, the main topic was supposed to be gas prices, and that certainly will come up. We also expect the president to tell us what he's willing to accept in the budget negotiations coming up in Congress next week. Erica?
I would imagine there may be a question or two about Libya as well, Bill.
Absolutely.
We'll be watching that. Bill Plant at the White House. Thanks. And again, we will be carrying that here on CBS. You can catch that news conference. And as Bill mentioned, we do expect to learn more about what the president has learned in terms of what's happening on the ground. We know he spoke with the Prime Minister of Japan at about 10:15 Eastern time this morning.
And we will, of course, continue to update you here on the CBS station all day and all weekend long on the CBS Evening News today and, of course, tomorrow on the Saturday Early Show. But as we look back of what's gone on and what's transpired here in the last number of hours that we've been at this desk, it's just massive devastation in Japan right now, and the effects will be felt worldwide for quite some time to come. And it's difficult to look at the pictures and what those poor people are going through out there right now.
The pictures really do tell such a tale. And just a reminder, as Chris mentioned, we'll be covering it here on the air. And you can always, at any time, get your updates online at cbsnews.com. So don't forget that resource is there to keep you updated. Again, a full wrap-up on the CBS Evening News. Your local news is next.
See dolphins dance, pilot whales soar, and worlds come together for the first time in one show. You've never seen anything like Blue Horizons, only at SeaWorld.
Why do we go through so much hassle for our morning coffee? We wait for it, make it, fuss with it, carry it around. There has to be a faster and easier way to get your morning wake up. There is. 5-Hour Energy. It's the morning wake up you don't have to make, wait for, or hassle with. And it really works. Just open it up and knock it back.
That was fast and easy.
5-Hour Energy, the no wait, no hassle way to a great morning.
It's the grand opening sale that's simply without peer. To celebrate the grand opening of Sit 'n Sleep's 24th Superstore at 2828 Wilshire in Santa Monica, we're having a grand opening sale that'll make your head spin. Save up to $500 on Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Heirloom, and Sleep to Live. Pay no interest for 1 full year and get our free bedding pack, 2 pillows, mattress pad, bed frame, and delivery, a $220 value free. Sit 'n Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price, or your mattress is free.
It's here, the all-new Chevy Cruze. MSN Autos called it the class of its class right now. But that's not the only story. It's got turn-by-turn navigation, OnStar, an available 6-speed automatic transmission, remote keyless entry, and 10 airbags. It's a big story for a compact car. The all-new Chevrolet Cruze. Get used to more. Very well-qualified lessees can get a low-mileage lease on a 2011 Chevrolet Cruze LS for around $159 a month. Call for details.
On our continuing adventures aboard SeaWorld 1, we head to the icy Arctic, where we came face to face with a ginormous polar bear. But he was nice and gave us a ride to his iceberg hut.
Get a year of adventures for the price of a day. Get your SeaWorld Fun Card.
8:55, a live picture from Sky 2. Breaking news in Port Hueneme, the northern edge of Southern California's tsunami advisory going on right now. No reports of any coastal flooding at this point, so that's good news, as the tsunami waves first are designed to roll from north to south, coming all the way down from Point Conception as far as we're concerned here in Southern California. I'm Ken Shocknick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Rubenstein. You're keeping an eye on not just the forecast, but also the advisory status right now. The first expected waves haven't proven to be any problem at all. But again, as you pointed out throughout the morning, we're not out of this.
Yeah, you know, 2-3 hours from now, we could expect some more waves. This is an event that will continue for several hours. But right now, you're right. Initially, it doesn't look all that terrible. We are over Torrance right now, looking down from our Sky 2, one of our Sky 2s out there. We got two ships up in the air, keeping an eye on what's going on along the coast. Again, we've got that tsunami advisory along the coast from Point Conception down south, and a tsunami warning from Point Conception up north. And in fact, Kent, you and I were just watching the video from Santa Cruz, which did get some significant action there in the harbor there. 73, 69, 71, of course, we'll bring you all those pictures and give you an update on this devastating earthquake in just a little bit.
Catch all today's best sports action. Watch Sports Central nightly on CBS 2. Brought to you by Hyundai, home of the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata, the fastest-growing midsize sedan in America. Hyundai has it. At your Southern California Hyundai dealer today.
At Universal Studios Hollywood, every day can be this epic.
Now at Universal Studios Hollywood, when you buy a day, you get 2011 free, so you can take on King Kong 363D anytime you want.
That was amazing.
To win tickets to Universal Studios Hollywood, go to cbsla.com.
Oh, hi. I'm Coupon Susie. I'm helping my friends save with free coupons from my website.
Susie's right. I just log on to couponsusie.com, select the brands my family likes, and print coupons for free.
Okay, let's go shopping.
I'm saving on great brands because my family deserves the best.
Why would you shop without coupons?
I just saved over $30.
Start saving today. Log on to couponsusie.com. Print at home. Save where you shop. couponsusie.com.
On the next Dr. Phil, need help settling arguments?
Dust under these shoes.
We let the audience vote.
There's not dust under objects. There's only dust around objects.
Today at 4 on CBS 2.
The nausea comes and goes, but there's times where I just have to go run to the bathroom.
Is morning sickness making you suffer?
Really, it lasts all day long.
Could a spray, nose clips, or wristbands help stop it?
Today at 9 on CBS 2.
Live picture right here. This is Redondo Beach. It doesn't look like a lot of the pleasure boaters have taken their boats out into the open ocean. The Coast Guard saying that's an option. It's always a little bit safer. Instead, some have doubled down on their lines to keep the moorings tight to the boats. Looks like things are okay, going all right so far in Redondo Beach following that 8.9 earthquake in Japan that spawned this tsunami. Now, one of our Sky 2 helicopters over Torrance and the beach there, following one of the Sheriff's Department's helicopters. They're patrolling. Los Angeles County beaches, for the most part, are open. They didn't shut down Santa Monica Beach, but they did shut down Malibu Beach earlier today, and also a couple of beaches in Orange County. And since we're talking about that, let's go up to the north, where Ventura Beach earlier was shut down. The wave, at least from the first part of the tsunami wave progress, has come through this area, and you can see there aren't any real issues there. And one more live picture for you right now, Huntington Beach in Orange County, where they have been also getting ready for anything that might happen. For the latest, go to cbsla.com, and a complete wrap-up through the morning on CBS 2 News. We'll see you again at 11 a.m.
Switch to Time Warner Cable and save. Get 12 months of digital TV with HD for just $33 a month with free installation. Get 12 months of digital TV, HBO, and Showtime for just $33 a month. Digital TV with no free HD, just $33 a month. Ask about optional whole house DVR. Call 1-855-TW-SWITCH. But this offer ends today. Call 1-855-TW-SWITCH.
There's only one way to describe the Ross Dress Event.
Unbeatable.
Come to Ross. We've got what you're looking for. The brands, the styles, and so much more. You'll find unbeatable savings in store.
Ross has the same dresses as department stores at a fraction of the price. So why buy a dress anywhere else? The